Good afternoon to one and all. Welcome you all in today's third session of Faculty Development Program sponsored by AICT under Atal scheme and organized by Department of Mechanical Engineering, Christian College of Engineering and Technology, Bhilai. Today's invited speaker for this session is Professor Dinesh Kumar from IIT Roorkee, who has already joined with us. You are most welcome, sir. It's our honor and privilege to have Professor Dinesh Kumar with us, who will deliver a talk on supply chain management. Now, I would like to take this opportunity to introduce you sir. Dr. Dinesh Kumar is a professor at IIT Roorkee. His area of interest is industrial engineering, process planning and optimization, modeling and simulation, supply chain management, maintenance management, financial management. He has started his professional journey as lecturer in NIT Kurukshetra in 1984, and thereafter in 1998 he has joined University of Roorkee, which is now IIT Roorkee, as assistant professor. He has performed a number of responsibilities such as coordinator, cognizance member, institute, library committee, coordinator, workshop, chairman, departmental research committee, head continuing education center, head of the department, MID, IIT Roorkee. He has ranked 6th in India in the list of top 20 Indian leading academicians publishing in SCM and got Outstanding Paper Award at the Literary Network Awards for Excellence 2013 by Emerald Publications. He has completed his BSc Engineering in 1980 from PC Chandigarh, ME in 1984 from University of Roorkee, and PhD in 1991 from University of Roorkee. He has completed research project, RAP, DRP, skill development, and GP. He is a fellow of Institution of Engineers, senior member of ORSI, and life member of IST. Many of the students have completed their PhD under his able guidance, and few are going on. He has published about 135 papers in international journals and presented about.
Should I start?
Yes, sir. Please start the session, sir.
Okay. Good afternoon to all of you. It's my privilege that Dr. Gadigat has given me this opportunity to talk to you people. I'm thankful to all of you. As he had mentioned, the topic name, that is role of supply chain management in enhancing company performance. Nowadays, we say supply chain is a very hot topic, and how it plays role in the industry we'll discuss one by one. So the various parts which we'll discuss during the session: introduction about the industrial concept, introduction about the supply chain, inventory control, forecasting, aggregate planning in supply chain, optimal level of product availability, transportation in supply chain, and sourcing decisions in the supply chain. So we'll say what is the need of the supply chain, why it is necessary, where it should be applicable, how it will be applicable. These are some of the questions which we have to ask when we have to start for any of the such subject, because maybe supply chain may be a new subject for you people. Then we'll answer all these questions. So the simple thing is, in industrial engineering, we want a product, a perfect product. What is the meaning of a perfect product? Just have a look of the plant, which you say by putting this system in the clay, you will get the product. Okay, these start growing, and one day or after 3-4 days, 5 days, you will found a leaf, green leaf comes from that. Okay, so it means the processing will start, and the process will start with the supply of material. So when we say the supply of material, so that will be from the ground to the upper part of the plant. Okay, so we have two aspects: the supply of material and the supply, the information flow. material flow and the information flow. The supply of material will be from the ground to the top, and the information required, what you say material is required at what time, will be flown from the top to the bottom. Okay, and how it will you say react in different weather will be by the, that will be instructions from somewhere, that will say, or it will be by the DNA of the plant, that how it will, you say, the material will flow into the system. Okay, so with that concept we are talking, and the output is a beautiful product, and that is the need of the industry also. We want a product which should be a suitable to the you say the customer, which should satisfy the customer need. So if you consider a rose, a beautiful product produced by the plant, so you can think in all respect it is a good product, a perfect product, which will be liked by all, you say, type of customers. Okay, so I am showing you here the two different flower of the rose, you say, which indicates that both are of the perfect. So we say the requirement of the company also in this respect, what we want, a perfect product, a quality product, a cost effective product, defect free product, environment friendly product, product from available sources. So out of all these factors, I am saying product from available resources, that indicates the constraints of the industry related to that what products you want to produce, that should be available from the total resources available with the industry. Okay, and when we are talking about the resources available with the industry, point is the point is that the subject to the capability of the industry, financial capability, resource, you say resources of the industry will plan to, you say, produce a particular item, product which will be suitable to the customer. So when you say the goal of the industry is to maximize its profitability, and the profit, when you say profit is the revenue minus expenses, or the revenue we say the expenses plus the profit. Expenses, what are the expenses? Means cost in producing the product, cost related to the material, cost related to the, you say, a processing the raw material, cost related to the plant and machinery, all you say consider, we say, the cost related to the production of the product. So revenue, we say, is the money which the company will receive by selling the product to the user or to the customer. And expense, we say, is the payment which the company has to made, or we say the cost occurred to produce the product. Okay, so first, related to the supply chain, we say what is a supply chain, decision phases in the supply chain, process view of a supply chain, the importance of the supply chain in the supply chain management, supply chain imperative for success, and what are the factors which contributes to the bull effect. So probably all of you have heard about a simple definition of the supply chain is, that is a supply chain is a system of organization, people, technology, activities, information and resources involved in moving a product or service from supplier to customer. Supply chain activities transform natural resources, raw material and component into a finished product that is delivered to the end customer. Supply chain includes all type of organizations engaged in transportation, warehousing, information, flow processing and material handling. So we say an integrative philosophy to manage the total flow of a distribution channel from the supplier to the ultimate user. So these four definitions, now we will explain what is the meaning of all these terminologies which we have used. We say we divide the process, industrial process in 3 stages. In industry, where we are processing the raw material, before processing the raw material, and after processing the raw material. Okay, before processing the raw material, we say the raw material from the different sources will be collected and will be brought to the site of the company. Then the processing in the company will be done, and we produce a finished product by adding the values in the product. Okay, and then third, we say then this product will be stored either in the company store or in the other store arranged, organized by the company, and then from that store it will be supplied, it will be transferred from that store to the user, retailer, or from the retailer to the user. So that will be a complete process. We will study what is the process before the industry, and what will be the process after the industry, and how it affects on the overall production process, overall profitability, overall the company goal. Okay, this is the objective of this study or this lecture. So we say the supply chain management is set of approach used to efficiently integrate the supplier. Supplier means those who will supply the raw material to be collected from the different sources to the manufacturing site. And then we say the manufacturers who will add the value, means process the raw material and will convert into a finished product. For example, we say in automobile industry, probably all of you have seen the automobile. Let us consider a four-wheeler, where you say in main industry of the producer, or you say in main industry, we say the processing will be the assembly of the components. The assembly of the component, when we are saying the component will be brought from the different ancillaries, and in the different ancillaries, the number of components will be produced by getting the number of raw material from the different sources. So in the automobile industry, we have the number of echelon system, where supplier will be raw material suppliers to the ancillaries, and the raw ancillary will produce the component. The component will be supplied to the main industry, where they will be assembled. Then the assembled unit will be a four-wheeler, will be stored in the store of the company, from where it will be distributed to the distributor, and then from the distributor it will be given to the final user. So the first stage is supplier, second is the manufacturer, third stage is the warehouses, where the finished product will be kept. So now we say the warehouses can be at both the end, at the starting end of the company and at the finishing end of the company. Both end we will have the warehouses. At the starting end, we are saying we have the warehouses to store the raw material, because depending upon the type of company, we are holding the inventory of the raw material for some period, depending upon so many parameters that we'll discuss. Okay, but on some parameters we will hold the inventory because of the uncertainty of the availability of the raw material, also we can say. So for some period, maybe 1 day, maybe 2 days, maybe for 1 week, maybe for 15 days, we'll keep the inventory of all part of the raw material, or a part of the raw material will keep. Okay, and then where we are talking about the warehouses of the finished product, because from the warehouses or the storage of the finished product, from where the material will be supplied to the user or the retailer, from where it will be supplied to the user. And so distribution center, where we are in some cases we are having the distribution center from where it will be supplied to the different users or different retailers. For example, we say the big industry like Hindustan Unilever Limited, where the company is producing large number of products, and they are getting these products from the different plant of the company located at different locations. Then they will have a distribution center, a big the distribution center at the state level, distribution center at the country level, distribution center state level, then distribution center at the district level, and then the distribution center at the city level also they'll have. And then from where they will distribute the all type of product to all places or all retailers we say, so that the product is produced and distributed in the right quantities to the right location and at the right time. So that is the specific requirement of the supply chain. That is, all items of the company should be available all the times to all the places of the store you say. Means whenever a customer goes to a particular shop, demand a particular item of the company, this item must be available. The storekeeper should not say that this particular item of this particular brand is not available. If he will say not available, that will have a negative impact on the mind of the customer, and that the company doesn't want. So we say such that the system costs are minimized and service level requirements are satisfied. Supply chain management has been a major component of the competitive strategy to enhance the organizational productivity and profitability. Supply chain management covers the flow of goods from supplier through manufacturer and distributor to end user. So in this here we are saying this particular part, when we are saying the supply chain management has been supply chain management has been a major component of competitive strategy to enhance the organizational productivity and profitability. Means when the product is a competitive product, means the similar other products are available in the market, then for the competitive product we'll say the competition will be to reduce the cost, or we have to sell the product at a competitive price. So when we have to sell the product at a competitive price, means we have to cut some cost in the company, or so that we can increase our profitability. Okay, so that will remain the concept of the in the competitive strategy, that how we can make our product cost reduction so that the profitability of the company either is maintained, either we pass on a part of that to the customer so that we can sell it at a competitive price, or we can increase the profitability of the company. So why SCM we say is difficult? Because when many uncertainties are there, some are inherent in the supply chain process, as we say travel time. Because as I have mentioned you, the raw material will be moved from the supplier point, supply locations, to the company location, and the finished product will move from the company location to the user location. So travel time, maybe there are uncertainty that if it will not reach in time to the locations, then it will create difficulty that it will not be sellable. Breakdown of machines and vehicle, if the breakdown of machines and the vehicle will be there, then it will not be produced in time. Whether natural and catastrophic conditions may be there, war condition may be there, when there may be a problem in transportation of the item from one location to another location. Local politics may also be there, labor conditions may be there, and the border issues, means if it is a global or a multinational product, or you say you have to import it from other country, then maybe the border issue may be there. Labor conditions, you can count that, because when you say it will reach to the destination, the labor, if the labor will not be available, then it cannot be unloaded. And if first it will be unloaded, and then it will be kept in a store, and from where it will be then supplied. So in all process we say the labor is a big problem, and labor may be a big problem. So labor conditions sometimes will delay the process of transporting, or delay in supplying from the even from the local store to the destination. Okay, The local politics also, sometimes the local politics also play the important role, and they don't, you say, they create the hindrance in supplying process. Maybe it's related to a particular product, particular company, or a road conditions. Maybe there are so many things. The significant complexity to optimize globally a supply chain are minimize internal cost, minimize uncertainty, deal with remaining uncertainty. Means how we can minimize the internal cost. Internal cost, as I have mentioned, are, first we are saying the production cost or the internal cost. Another is the transportation cost is another cost. Labor cost is the another cost. Maintenance cost is the another cost. Holding cost is the another cost. Okay, so all these costs are related to the, you say, related to the product, you say, and that will be associated as the expense incurred in, you say, keeping the product, supplying the product, storing the product. Okay, and that will be considered as part of the, you say, cost to the product. Okay, so, and also first is to minimize, how we minimize the internal cost, then how we minimize the uncertainty. First, if we are minimizing the internal cost, means say we are able to produce and supply the product at a reasonable price or at a competitive price. If we are able to minimize the uncertainty, means there is no hindrance in supplying the product from the company store to the destination, to the location. And where, whatever you say, other types of uncertainties are there, we'll try to remove them, rectify them, reduce them, or nullify them. Okay, the origin of supply chain has been inspired by many fields like the quality revolution, the notions of material management and integrated logistics, a growing interest in industry, market and network, a notion of increased focus, and influential industry specific study. So now the picture which indicates how the material is flowing from the different source by different means to the manufacturing site. Okay, where you say for the different industry we are having a different manufacturing processes, and it will take different time to produce a finished product, and then a finished product will be transferred to the warehouses, which we also call the distribution centers, DC. Okay, and there, because we say there is a gap between the production quantity and the demand of the market, and demand of the market from the different location, the different demand may be there. So from the different distribution center, how much finished product is to be transferred to which location, that will be decided at the distribution center depending upon the demand from the different source, different customers or different you say market. So, and also depending upon the demand and depending upon the, you say, the situations also, we supply the product, because ultimately we say the objective is to collect the revenue, and revenue may be in advance, revenue may be on credit basis. Means when we are supplying the product from the distribution center to the customer immediately is paying you the you say the money, or they are paying the money later on. Okay, so that is also is to be looked. Those who are paying money immediately will be given priority, okay, to supply the product. Okay, so with this aspect we are starting that now we are saying the flow of material will be, now in this picture I am indicating that there are three parameters which will be considered here: information flow both way, product flow both way, and the fund flow will be in both way. That is, left side we are saying the industry or from the supplier, and in the you say, when you say it is from supplier to the industry, then the customer will be industry. When it will be from the industry to the customer, then the customer will be final user. So for that purpose I have left blank the left side of this, because left side can be both or maybe more, you say, people may be there. Now when we say the product flow, as I have mentioned you, the product flow will be from the industry to the customer. And if you say if the product will not you say give the service, or it is a you say bad product, it's not serviceable product, then directly it will flow from the customer location to the company location. Means company say call back the product, and if the callback will be there, the fund will flow from customer to the company. But if the callback will there, then the fund will flow from the company to the customer directly. And now related to the information, we say the information also flows both way, that is information from the company to the customer related to the guidelines, how to use the product. How to use the product will be a guidelines that always you get when you buy a product. You get a pamphlet, a guidelines to operate the product, to keep the product in a particular environment. That is the say guidelines or the information given by the company to the customer. Okay, and the feedback related to the service it has rendered the product will be you say supplied from the customer to the company. Okay, so that will say the information is also a both way process. Now the objective of a supply chain, we say overall maximize overall value created. Supply chain value differences between what the final product is worth to the customer and the effort the supply chain expends in filling the customer's request. The point here I want to mention means when the customer demand, immediately it should be fulfilled. Okay, so maybe as the example I have given of Hindustan Unilever product, where the company is manufacturing and supply large number of products, and all products are available to all stores. So there is a chance that some product may not be available to some store, and if the customer goes there and demands certain particular product, then and if that product is now not available at that shop, then he will go to the next store. And if that particular item is not available there also, then he will go to the another shop, you say like that. But there will be a bad image in the mind of the customer that this particular item is not available. So maybe because if he is a need of that particular item and not available, then what he will do, either he will buy another similar product available of different another brand. So if he had bought another brand and he found that that brand is also okay and the cost maybe of that brand is low, so if he has bought that brand and satisfied by his need with that brand, so maybe a permanent loss that the product has, that customer has been permanently lost, and that will considered by the company a bad you say marketing, and that the company never wants. Okay, value is correlated to supply chain profitability, difference between revenue generated from the customer and the overall cost across the supply chain. Supply chain success should be measured by total supply chain profitability, not profit at an individual stage. Means say when we are talking at individual stage means the supply, when we are talking the supply process, here we are talking there are two stages, supply in and supply out. So we generally will talk supply out only. Supply out is from factory location to the customer location. Okay, and from company location to the customer location, there are different stages where through which the say product will take place. Okay, first stage we say from company store to the distribution center, or from the, because the product generally distributed or generally sold in at the you say users locations maybe in a city, maybe in a remote area, in a village, maybe in the hilly areas, maybe you say in different country, another country. So that considerations we'll say. So when we are talking about the supply of the finished product from the company location to the different locations, so and in that you say process, the you say the cost cost of transportation, cost of holding, again the cost of transportation, then cost of holding. So maybe 3 stage, 4 stage, the product has to pass on to reach to the final user. Okay, so that you say the process of transferring the finished product from one location to another location, from that location to another location, like that will cost to the company. Okay, and in every setup you say it will cost, you say, to the company, and the profitability of the company will reduce. Okay, so more you say, more lengthy the process, more you say longer is the process, will say the profit, less will be the profit. In that proportion the profit will be reduced. Okay, so we say in the supply chain process, the decisions which are to be taken, supply chain strategy or design, what should be the supply chain strategy, and how we design the supply chain, that so that it should reach, it should, you say, continue to reach the potential customers in time. Supply chain, how we do the supply chain planning will be done, and what will be the supply chain operation, that will be. For example, I am saying, yeah, here I have only talked about the small item of Hindustan Unilever, or the four-wheeler. Four-wheeler you can consider a big item, but bigger than that you can say the casing of the power plants. Casing of the power plant, they are big casing, or the, you say, the turbines blades or turbines complete structure. So when they have to supply the from the factory location to the you say to the service location, then the company has to design, has to plan how it will be transported, because it's a big site. Road conditions are different. You say the road conditions are not as per the requirement of the supply of the big you say assembly. So then you say we have to take care of all these things, the planning, the design, planning, and then operations we have to do. Okay, so the supply chain study or the design, we say decision about the structure of the supply chain and what process each stage will perform. Strategic supply chain decisions may be location and capacity of the facilities, products to be made or stored at various locations, mode of transportation, and the information system. How? So when I'm saying the product is to be transferred from the company location to the distributor location, or from the distributor location to the customer location, then means our objective or the company objective will be as far as possible to store the items near to the sale point. So when you say the product like Hindustan Unilever product, where the company is producing a small item like a small bathing soap to a big item also, and a luxury items also, the costing from starting rupees 10 to 15 rupees to the items of rupees 500 or 1000 rupees item also is there. So these items are to be sold to the different type of customers. We say customer segment we are also calling. So means if any item, we say in the high segment, high customer segment, or you say high paying customer segment, means the paying capacity of the customer, we say. So the company has to decide where what should be the location and what should be the capacity of the store. For example, you say in a big city or in a metro city, the location and the size will matter, because it will cost to the company. And a small city, so they'll try to keep it outside the city because the cost there will be less, but then the transportation cost will be high, or you say it will take more time to transport from that location to the different locations of the customer. Okay, so that also to be looked at, how they have to optimize the you say location and the capacity, then product to be made or stored at various locations. Now the question is, when we are saying products to be made or stored at various locations, means either they are stored at different locations from where they can be supplied, or they are made there. For example, we say the cement plant. Probably you know about the cements are also needed all over the country and transported from the location, far away location, to the all, you say, part of the country. But you say the cement plant, they have divided the country into different zones, and in each zone they will have a plant, so that they can reduce the transportation cost and they can reduce the time of delivery, you can say. And the information system, nowadays we are saying, the information system also plays a very important role, and by which we can say that it will play an important role in transporting the required quantity of material from a different location to the required location. And nowadays IT is playing an important role, as you are observing that we have the online purchase of large number of items. So the items, you just place the order from your laptop, from your mobile, and within few days, immediately you will get the information that your product will reach to your doorstep in 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 5, depending upon the availability. Even in Corona, COVID-19 situation, also you have found, and you have placed the order with mobile, and you got the items by many of the you say players like Amazon, Flipkart, and so many, you say. So supply chain design must support strategic objectives. So that you have probably observed in the COVID-19 situation, that the network, you say, the players have redesigned their network, that how it will reach, or how they will pick up the raw material, the finished product from the different location, and then will supply to the customer point, customer location, you say. The supply chain design decisions are long-term and expensive to reverse, must take into account the market uncertainty. So that is also his point to mention here, that once you have made a certain strategic decision has been taken, that this will be your process of uh, supplying or processing the, you say, finished product from one location to another location, then revising it, changing it, because you have to change the facilities or the storage, and then you have to check the transportation mode, also availability of the transportation mode, and the people who are working in that situation. So first part, we are saying supply chain planning. What are the parts of the supply chain planning, or say characteristics of the supply chain planning? Fixed by the supply configuration from previous stages. Start with a forecast of demand in the coming year, and planning the decisions are which market will be supported from which location. So now you can check, that is, which is the market and which market is to be supported from which location, so that that market should feed properly without any interference, without any, you say, disruption. Plant buildup of inventories, means say how we build up the inventory at different locations, so that we can feed to the different market. Then subcontracting backup location, means subcontracting means how we give the contact to the different people for the different, you say, facilities. And what will be if that, you say, subcontracting will not work, then what will be the backup of the work? That is, means if the particular item is not available at this location, means we have to integrate the number of locations, so that whenever a demand from any of the locations, that if it is not available at the first location, can be sent from the second location, third location, and so on. Another is the inventory policies. Inventory policies will be related to the stock of the item, because when we say the industry is a multi product items it is producing and selling, so then you say to keep the inventory of all the items, maybe certain times become difficult, because they have to coordinate all, you say, all producing plants, and all you say supplying processes, so that they can keep the inventory of the required number to each of the destination. And also there will be a pressure from the retailer, from the user, from the customer. There may be a pressure related to the demand of the product. Okay, the timing and size of the market promotions, how we say the what should be the time, and at what time you say the promotion, because we say the demand will be based upon the company strategy related to the advertisement or the promotion of the product. Okay, so when you say the company is promoting a particular product, promotion means advertisement, how they are leaving an impact in the mind of the customer that this is a good item, this is the item which is needed by a particular person. And so if you say more number of people will have that things in their mind that they want this particular product, so they will demand. And if the demand will arise, definitely all people in the channel will be channelized, and you say the demand will be from the final user. Final user will give the demand to the retailer. Retailer will give the demand to the distribution center, and distribution will give the demand to the company. Okay, so must consider in planning decision demand uncertainty. So what are the demand uncertainty means? If the demand, because there is a process of supplying the finished product from the company location to the retailer location, so uncertainty comes in picture when you say the retailer will demand more as compared to his actual requirement. He demand more, and the distribution center further increase and enhance his demand considering the future demand. Okay, like that. So exchange rate means if it is a multinational you say product, you have to bought it from some other country, then the exchange rate, for example, you say there is a huge fluctuation, a wide range of fluctuations, you say in the pound and the dollar also. So because of that, if you are demanded today and the product will come after 1 month, then there is a huge fluctuation maybe there in the exchange value, exchange you say rate, and that is to be you say, so that either if you say the currency value changes, then you say either your profitability will go or you will be in loss. Okay, so competition over the time horizon, maybe depending upon the length of the period of the supply, you say you may face the competition also. Supply chain operations, which considers as a time horizon, maybe weekly or daily, maybe monthly also you can say. Decision regarding individual customer orders. Supply chain configuration is fixed and operating policies are determined. The goal is to implement the operating policies and as effective as possible. Allocate orders to inventory or production. Set orders due dates. Generate pick list at a warehouse. Allocate an order to particular shipment. Set delivery schedules. Place replacement order. So these are the stages. We say probably if you have studied the you say activity chart. So what are the activities related to the supply of the product from the factory location to the retailer location? Means how, what are the different activities and how these activities we allocate, we or you say place the you say we you say in place them in order and then we execute them. Okay, much less uncertainty means if the less uncertainty are very less, that will be based upon the if the time horizon is very short, then the uncertainty we say will be lesser. Why we say less? Because whatever say the point has to be considered, will take into consideration, and that will be you say the, because if the you say the longer time will be there, then maybe some uncertainty created because of the human behavior, because of the non-availability of the places. So many things are there. So process view of a supply chain, there are two process, you say cyclic view, push and pull view. There are three views. So process view, when cyclic view, we say processes are divided into a series of cycles, each performed at the interface between two successive supply chain stages. The first we say, let us say the starting point is the company and the finishing point is the distribution center. So we say the commutation will be from company to distribution center, company to distribution center. So that will be in a cycle. Then push and pull view, we say these depend on the timing of their executions related to the customer demand. Push and pull view, we say processes depend on their execution in response to the customer order, that we say in a reactive, or in anticipation of the customer order, that is speculative, means the demand. It will be demand based. Either the demand will come from the customer, then we supply, or we anticipate the demand and then we'll keep the items ready for, you say, delivery. For example, you say when you go to the market on a showroom and want to buy a TV or a refrigerator, okay, then the what the distributor or what the showroom person will show you, he'll show you all available models of the a particular brand or number of brands, TV and also refrigerator. So on the in the showroom of TV, you will get all type of all brand of or a particular brand or all brand of or number of brands of TV. Similarly, in the refrigerator showroom, you will find the number of brand of the refrigerator, and you will check each of the refrigerator with respect to its capacity, with respect to its price, with respect to its performance, and then you place a particular, say, refrigerator. Okay, then the what the shopkeeper or the showroom person will say to you, he'll say, you go to your home, you reach there, and it will be the new, you say, product will be supplied from their store, his store, to your doorstep. Maybe if that model is not available in his store, then he'll say, he may ask you to wait for one day. If you say no, I only need today, then he will have a, because he has nowadays he has a good network, then he'll ask from some other, you say, showroom or some other, you say, distribution center whether that is available or not, and his effort will be to supply the same model to your doorstep within the stipulated or within the anticipated time, we say. So the relative proportion of push and pull process can impact on the supply chain performance. How we say it will impact on the supply chain performance? Because when it is a reactive, means if the order will be given by the customer and then you will supply the product, then means say it will take some time to supply the product. But if it is in anticipation, you have the product ready to supply, then you will not, there is no delay in supplying. Means say in previous first case, there may be a possibility of changing the mind of the customer. But in the second case, when you say the product is readily available, then the product will be made available, will be supplied immediately to the doorstep of the customer without any. So there may be an impact of the supply chain performance of these two like that. Okay. So this is the pictorial view of this push and pull. Now this is the cyclic view of the supply chain process, as I mentioned, that is at the supplier level, at the manufacturer level, at the distributor, means from one place to another the commutation will be. Okay. Now the another importance, now what is the importance of the supply chain management? Shorter product life of high technology products means a less opportunity to accumulate historical data or customers demand. Wide choice of competing products makes it difficult to predict demand. Means where there is a wide choice of competing products, means choices are more, then also it becomes difficult to predict the demand. For example, we say the winter clothes or the summer clothes, the variety are too much variety are available in the market, and market is too much competitive. When you say the market is too much competitive, then it will become difficult to predict that which product, which you say item will have more demand. That will be very difficult. So it is based upon the product, which products you are selling, and so with that product, what is the, and that is the main you say problem when you are not able to predict the demand, means say uncertainty are more, and when the uncertainty are more, then you say whole process of, and because of this factor, because of this variation, high variations in demand, you found that the garment manufacturing industry, they are in heavy loss. Why they are in heavy loss? Because they are not able to predict the human behavior, taste of the people, that what type of the garments they want, okay, what type of, what the texture they want, what the quality they want, what the, you say the physical requirement, you say of, you say what they like, you say related to the color combination, texture combination, maybe so many things. So that is very difficult to predict. So on the basis of that, the retailer also feels difficult to predict that how much you say will be the demand in the future market, and so what should he collect and get from the different sources. The growth of technology such as internet enable greater collaborations between the supply chain trading partners. So nowadays we have the app, that is whatever they are selling immediately, the information will go to the company. Any particular brand, any particular you say item which you are selling now at the final retailer point, the information goes to the company immediately, because nowadays you have a barcode system, okay, or a frequency identifier you have, that is when you say you pay the amount, and immediately the you say the inventory will be, you say will be deducted from your store, and you say when you will have less inventory, then you will get a call from the distribution center related to that this item is stored at your center, so we are sending, or you have to raise the demand, like that. So if you don't do it, your competitors will compete you. So that you have to do, because the item must be made available to every point all the times. Major buyers such as Walmart demand a level of supply chain maturity of its supply. So in the big, I'm saying, no, Walmart is one example, but in all you say big shops where you are having the choices of having the large number of products, means every product they are having, okay, so at readily available. So there the choices with the customers is more, and with the choices they can, you say, the selling of these, you say Walmart type is much larger as compared to other, okay. So availability of supply chain management technologies in the market, firms have access to multiple products, for example SAP, BAN, Oracle, JD Edwards, with which to integrate the internal processes, means say how it will be from one place to another place, and so that all items must be made available to all places, okay. Supply chain imperative for success, supply chain as a strategic assets and a differentiator. Walmart's partnership with Procter and Gamble to automatically replenish the inventory, means how they will replenish the inventory continuously, means say Walmart have a partnership with Procter and Gamble, that is they will check, means whatever items is there in their, you say in their racks, that will be automatically the items are they have the mapping, Walmart with the company, means say once the item is lifted from the rack of the Walmart, goes to the counter, immediately the Procter and Gamble company will know automatically that this item has become how many items has become short today. So what is the inventory you say level in the Walmart rack of a particular product, and so what should be their replenishment cycle, the company has to decide. Similarly, Dell innovative direct to customer sales and built to order manufacturers. So probably all of you know about the Dell strategy, that is Dell is having this concept nowadays that they are customized all products, all their products, that is selling their product to the final user, okay, directly. That is, you are placing the order and means you are changing the features of, or you want a different features in the product, and the company is, you say, renovating or changing as per your requirement and then supplying to your doorstep. So unique supply chain configurations to align with company's strategic objective, operational strategy, outsourcing strategy, channel strategy, customer service strategy, and asset network strategy, reduce uncertainty, forecasting, collaboration, and integration. These are the things by which the company will be able to, you say, supply in a better way. Okay. Now, the different principle adopted to balance the customer demand with the needs for profitable growth, many companies made effort aggressively to improve the supply chain management process. The 7 principles which will work together, when work together, can enhance the revenue, can reduce the cost, and can utilize the facility assets, as well as they will meet the customer satisfaction. Principle 1 is segment customer based on the service need of distinct group and adapt the supply chain to serve the segment profitably. Means depending upon the what is the segment, means is when we are talking a customer segment, we are talking the market oriented, means which market, which type of customer is approaching. Principle 2 is customize the logistic network to the service requirement and profitably of the customer segment. Means what logistic will be utilized, means depending upon the, you say, the service requirement in the different locality, for the different customers, we are adopting a different logistics. Depending means we are mapping the logistic with the customer behavior. Means if it is a high segment customer, then means he will not be able to tolerate the delay. Okay, if it is a low segment customer, maybe some delay you can tolerate. Okay, so principle 3 is listen to the market signal and aligns demand planning accordingly across the supply chain, ensuring consistent forecast and optimal resource allocation. Means if we are able to analyze the behavior of the market, analyze the behavior of the customer, then means you can forecast how much demand will be there in next period. Next period may be 1 week, next period may be 15 days, next period may be 1 month. So if you are able to forecast demand in the next period, means you can supply in advance the item to the destination. The principle 4, we say differentiate product closer to the customer and speed conversion across the supply chain. Means if you are able to put your or to store your item near to the customer, then definitely you can speed up. Means as I have mentioned you the example of the TV and the refrigerator, means the distribution center, if it is near to the you say showroom, then the showroom people will not will hold the inventory, will not keep the inventory. Inventory will be at the distribution center. If the demand will come at any of the showroom, here the person, you say, the showroom will pick up the item from the distribution center and will supply to your doorstep. This will reduce, because when you say one principle is there, important aspect is there, that is when you say the item is in the store, either it is in the store of the company, or it is in the store of the distribution center, or it is in the store of the retailer, it will be considered as the product unsold. Product will be considered sold only when it will be supplied to the final user doorstep and the final user has paid the money, then only it will be considered sold. So point is that it is the responsibility of the company how to move the product from one point to another point, from second point to third point, or so on, because the the distribution center or the retailer has nothing to do with the non-sellable product. The company has to take it back, the non-sellable product. Okay, because the retailer distribution, they are not ready to bear any loss because of non-sellable item. Okay, so that is the point here. So if it is there, means the all the companies, you say they are the mediator only. The retailer is the mediator, distribution center is the mediator, or the stockist, whatever maybe the stockists are there, they are the mediator only, and they are holding only for the purpose of supplying in time. The delay will not be in supplying the product. That is, they have to arrange on the labor, loading, unloading, okay, and loading to unloading to the final user point. Okay. So manage sources of supply strategically to reduce the total cost of owing material and services. Develop a supply chain wide technology strategy that support multiple level of decision making and gives a clear view of the flow of product, services, and the information. So as I mentioned, you means how the strategy will be planned to supply the product from one place to another place so that it should reach to the end user without any problem. Adopt a channel spanning performance measures to gauge collective success in reaching the end user effectively and efficiently. Means how effectively and efficiently we are able to supply the product to the final destination. The factors which contributes to the bullwhip effect are minimax inventory management, means the reorder points to bring inventory up to a predicted level. Lead time, to minimize the lead time. Longer lead time lead to greater variability in estimates of average demand, thus increasing variability and safety stock cost. Batch ordering, peak and valley in the orders. Fixed ordering cost, impact of transportation cost. Sales quotage, price fluctuation, promotion and discount policies, lack of centralized information, contract between buyers and sellers, suppliers. It depends upon pricing and volume, delivery lead time, product or material quality, and product return policy. Means now the out of all these, I am stressing on the product return policy. As I mentioned you, all the points, distribution point, all the storage point, the stockist, they will keep the product only. They don't want to make any loss because of non-sellable item, or if the company is not able to sell their item, they are not the seller. They are storing the item. The seller will be the company. So the company has to arrange the advertisement, arrange such a way that it should have the impact in the mind of the customer, final user, that this is the product needed to you and needed to me, and I should go to the showroom, buy that particular product that will be useful for me. That is the strategy. That will be we say the impact of the advertisement, and how the impact of the advertisement will be on the mind of the customer, so that he'll buy a particular product. For example, I say the automobile, you have the number of brands available in the market. Honda car, Hyundai car, Maruti car, and they more, you say Datsun car, you say Nissan car. There are so many brands are available in the market. But every customer, Tata Motors, every customer will have an impact on the quality and the price. There are two important parameters are quality and price. If you are compromising with quality, you can have the same product at a means the same type of product at a lower price. But maybe because you are compromising with quality, maybe you have to bear with quality parameters, or and certain times you have to face the quality problem. So like that. So like you say, if you go in the upper segment customer brand segment, maybe you can say Audi car, BMW car, Mercedes car. So depending upon the paying capacity of the customers, the brand will be built up, and the brand will say related to the quality of the product, related to the safety of the product, means how they will provide the safety to the user, to the passenger, you say. So various contracts which are to be made are buyer back contract, means how the the you say buyback will be there. Revenue sharing, how the revenue share contract will be, what is the impact of that, flexibility contract, and sales rebate contract. So these are some of the contracts which will be made between the company and the different, you say, people in the channel, so that every person will you say will effort, will try or will make their effort, full effort to sell the product. देखिए, the objective is to sell the product, objective is to increase the sales, and either they will get the commission or they will get the a part of the profit. Okay, that we say. So the inventory control, inventory, as we mentioned here, the inventory is an ideal stock of physical goods containing economic values and kept or held by an organization in various form, awaiting packing, processing, may be used or may be sold in future point of time. Any organizations, either production, they are producing, manufacturing, either they are trading, they are selling, and or they are providing some service of a product, will necessary to hold the product for future consumption. Means they are keeping some item, definitely that it will be sold in future. Okay, and if the customer reaches to you, approaches to that person, that will be readily available. So whole organizations of any type hold inventory, may be in complete stage or incomplete stage, maybe in complete stage or incomplete stage. For example, we say in many of the you say product, they may be like, you say, they are having the product, but when you say you need that particular product, maybe they will complete. For example, the automobile, when you are buying an automobile, you will not get immediately, it will take some time, because the automobile is in some shape, and they have to check it, they have to test it, they have to fit some you say accessories related to the product. So that is the point here we are mentioning. Where do we hold inventory? Either we say at the supplier point of view, or at the supplier location, or at the manufacturer location, at the warehouse location, at the distributor location, at the later. And I have pointed out you, that is wherever you are keeping the inventory of the finished product, where are you keeping? Either at the factory location, or at the supplier location, or at the warehouse location, or at the distributor location, or at the retailer location, it will be considered the product of the company, unsold product. Okay, why do we hold inventory? As some point I already mentioned, to economize of scale and to reduce the uncertainty in the supply chain. Okay, and to reduce the lead time and the capacity limitations of every, you say, location, if we have the capacity. Because what is the meaning of the capacity limitation? Means we say there is a gap between the demand and the production. Means if you are saying the demand is of 100 items and the production capacity is of 1000 items, so the 900 items will be stored somewhere. Or if you say the demand is of 900 items, the production is of 1000 items, so 100 items has to store. So if for longer period you say only the 900 items will be sold daily, weekly, and the company is producing 1000 pieces daily or weekly, whatever you can say, the demand is there, so these 100 items will be kept in store, and you cannot do that thing that you have to produce less items. Means say instead of 1000 you produce only 900. If you will produce 900, then means say you are not utilizing your capacity fully, and if you are not utilizing your capacity fully, means the number you are less producing, means you are reducing your profitability. So that is not tolerable. So type of inventory we are saying the raw material inventory, as I have mentioned earlier, the finished product inventory also I have mentioned. Now the third inventory is also work in process. Now what is work in process inventory? That is the inventory between two machines. Because in the industry we say the number of machines are maybe arranged in some configuration. The raw material is to be processed from one machine to another machine, from second machine to third machine, from third machine to fourth machine, or from one department to another department to third department, so on like that. So means the processing time of each machine or each department may be different. So the product, you say the semi-finished product or the raw material will flow from one department to another department, will be there for some period, then it will go to the next department. So we had to arrange the flow of the material into the different departments such a way that it should, you say, each department must remain, you say, operative, or you say one must utilize its full, you say, services for the best you say benefit of the company. Okay. So I think these are the economic order quantity. Most of the people have studied the economic order quantities. I'll skip. Okay. So these things I'll skip because they're part of the BTech course many times. So I'll skip all these. Okay, this is also the part of the inventory we say. Now another is the forecasting. Forecasting also is a part, that is when we say we are able to forecast the demand. Okay, then we say we are saying forecasting. So we are saying how bullwhip effect can be reduced by controlling the forecasting. If we keep the demand forecast constant, reorder point will kept constant, because forecast means and standard deviation will remain. So next we'll study the forecasting. Forecasting, where we say how probably all of you knew this thing, that longer will be the forecasting period and it will be more inaccurate. Okay, the shorter will be the forecasting, it will be more accurate. Okay, so the different parts of the forecasting we'll see here, and how it plays the role in the supply chain. As I mentioned you here, the forecasting of the demand, so that you can supply in anticipation, because the push or pull, as I mentioned. So if you are able to supply in anticipation, then definitely it will be able to improve your visibility in the market, your visibility in the mind of the customer, you say. So basis for all strategy and planning decisions in the supply chain process, used for both push and pull processes. Either you are having a push process or pull process, in both the forecasting is needed. Production, marketing, finance, and personnel, all of these decisions are interrelated. And the characteristics of forecasting, when we say the forecasts are always wrong, should include expected value and measures the error. Because when you are talking about the forecasting, means for future requirement you are forecasting, and the future never be exact. Definitely there, either it is short or excess will be there. If it is short, then means say you are not able, or you say you have lost the opportunity. If you are excess, means you are investing more, you say. Okay, but the responsiveness in that case will be higher. So long-term forecasts are less accurate than short-term. Aggregate forecasts are more accurate than the disaggregate forecast. And the forecast method are quantitative method, time series method, casual method, and simulation methods are some of the methods we say. Now again, the forecasting also, probably all of you have studied many times the forecasting, because it is also a part of the industrializing, and in every for every in every field the forecasting is taught in the at the BTech level. So I am also skipping this forecasting too much. Uh, these are some of the approaches which will be adopted. So aggregate planning of the forecasting, also supply chain. As I mentioned, you aggregate planning in the supply chain. Capacity has a cost. Lead time are often long. Aggregate planning process by which a company determines the level of capacity, production, subcontracting, inventory, stock out, and pricing over a specified time horizon. And as I mentioned you, the time horizon may be 1 week, maybe 15 days, maybe 1 month. Goal is to maximize the profit. Goal is, when we say maximize the profit, means minimize the cost. Okay, and decisions made at a product stock keeping units level, where we are keeping the stocks. Okay, or where we are keeping the items. Okay, stock keeping units. Time frame may be 3 to 18 months. And how can a firm best use the facility it has? Means whatever they have structured related to the facility. Means, for example, we say the cement plant where you say they are having the round the year, they are having the requirement only, except the rainy season, they are having the requirement in, you say, all part of the country. So how they will be able to, you say, make their facility near to the requirement, all requirement, will be a big challenge to them. Similarly, the multi-product company like Hindustan Unilever or Procter & Gamble, where you say the products, you say, required, you say, all the time by all the people, means everybody, even you people are also buying the products of Procter & Gamble or the Hindustan Unilever, either one or product, two products, or number of products we are using of these companies. So, and as I mentioned you, the company is manufacturing a same product, similar product, to say, not same product, similar product, for the different segment of customers. For example, we say the detergent or soap, which you say of low cost item and high cost price, you say. So for different segment of customers, they are manufacturing, and probably you know that the high segment customers, the profitability is high. Okay, with low segment customer, the profitability will be low. Okay, so all supply chain stages should work together on an aggregate plan that will optimize the supply chain performance. And aggregate planning problems, we say, given the demand forecast for each period in the planning horizon, determine the production level, inventory level, and the capacity level for each period that maximize the firm's supply chain profit over the planning horizon. Specify the planning horizon, time typically 3 to 18 months. Specify the duration of each period. Specify key information required to develop an aggregate planning. The example I'll take differently. For example, the woolen the winter clothes. The example you can take of the summer clothes. The example you can take of the rainy. The product is required only in rainy. The product is specifically required in the severe cold period. So that you can imagine how risky it will be to manufacture, to store, and to supply, and how risky it will be by the retailer to keep all these products, because if the severity of the cold will not be there, then the product will not be sellable. If the raining will not be there, then the product will not be sellable. So if the product will not be sellable, then it will be the inventory of to the retailer, inventory to the at the distribution center, and if it will be inventory to the distribution, means his money will be blocked. Money will be blocked. If there is a buyback policy of the company, so company will buy back, so then the company money will be blocked. So that is a big problem to manufacturers and to supply. Okay. So output of the aggregate plants, I think I'll skip this these things also. Now the optimum level of product availability, we say how much maximum we keep the product at the different point, so that the product can be supplied easily without any disruption to the retailer point. Okay, from where it can be sold to the customer. Okay, so related to that, we are having cost of overstocking means say if you are stocking the product in you say in anticipation means overstocking, that it will cost to the company. If we are understocking, then again there will be a loss of opportunity maybe there. Okay. So the related to that we are having now the transportation also plays important in the supply chain process. That is, as we are mentioning, the supply from one destination to another destination, and it will be in either by the big container, small container, big container, or very large container, or it will be by roads, or it will be by rail, or it will by ship, or it will be by air. So these may be a mode of transport, and that will cost to the company. So depending upon the volume of supply, between the two countries, between the two cities, between the you say from the city to the hills, so maybe a different mode, or you say in different volume, we have to supply. Then the transportation will play their role definitely. So we'll have the some of the things related to the carrier, and then transportation modes: air, package carrier, trucks, rail, water, pipelines, and intermodal. So pipeline, probably you have heard about the refineries where you say the crude oil is transported from the long distance to the refinery point where it is refined, and then from that point also it is transferred. Similarly, the gas pipeline, or you say some big companies, they are having distribution through pipelines. Say gas pipelines are there. Similarly, the you say water mode is there by which you can transport the, for example, the wooden logs. They are transported from the hills to the plains by the mode of the water. Okay, or water ships are there which are used to carry the you say big volume from large distance, and by big containers, you say heavy items are shipped from one place to another place by ship. So direct shipping network, direct shipping with milk run, all shipment via central distribution center, shipping via distribution center using milk run and tailored networking. So just have a look of the pictures. Trade-off in transportation designs, when we are saying, that is the what type of transportation and inventory cost we are having, because if you are transporting large number of items, then you have to keep the inventory for longer period, and that will cost to the company. So transportation and inventories and transportation cost with responsiveness also we have to make a balance. Nowadays the IT is playing a very important role, in you say in the distribution. So the complexity of the transportation decisions demands to use the IT system. IT software can assist in identification of optimal routes by minimizing costs subject to the delivery constraints, optimal fleet utilization, and GPS application. Risk management in transportation, making transport decision in practice. Then sourcing means many facilities are to be outsourced depending upon the need. You say, because if one company, one system cannot, you say, organize or cannot manage all the facility needed different locations, then some of the facilities are to be outsourced. So which should be outsourced, at what cost it should be outsourced, and what are the advantage and disadvantage of the outsource will be covered during this portion. So I think we are running short of time. Because of that, I have to skip a large part of the supply chain process. So I think it is sufficient. Now it's open for your questions.
Hello, Please,
Yes, yes.
participants, if you and Kerry, you can ask.
Any question from any participant?
Hello, sir.
Yes, yes, please.
Good afternoon, sir. My name is Manoj Kumar Raut from Bhubaneswar.
Yes, yes.
Sir, my question is, sir, what is supply chain resilience?
Supply chain resilience. In what context you are asking about the supply chain resilience?
Sir, in case of COVID-19 situations,
Oh, that is, you
I have no
can say,
idea about supply chain. That's why.
you are not having any supply chain. Okay, that
Resilience
is you
idea,
can.
sir. That's why I'm.
Mhm. So in COVID-19, as I have mentioned, that is Amazon and Flipkart, they have tried to manage the supply of the product from the different location to the point of your requirement. Okay, so means a hindrances.
Yes,
How
sir.
what are the hindrances? How they will be cope up with the hindrances related to the supply process. Okay. Any more?
Yes, sir. Sir, one more question, sir.
Yes, yes, please.
Sir, yes, sir. What is supply chain sustainability, sir?
Why supply chain?
What is supply chain sustainability?
Sustainability. Su-
In
Supply chain.
contrast to supply chain, sir. Yes, sir.
Sustainability.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, okay. When you are talking about any sustainability about any of the system you say, how it will remain continuous means once you design, you implement, then for how long it will remain sustainable, depending on means when you say, for example, you are talking about a machine. In the same context, we'll talk about the supply chain sustainability. Means if you bought a machine, okay, and it is you say it's working for producing some items, okay, and the sustainability when you say for how much or how many for how long you say how without any problem if it is producing the product, quality product, means say we are maintaining and getting you say the finished product with that machine. So if it is fulfilling the need of the company in saying producing the product, so then we say it will remain sustainable related to its operational cost, production cost, and similarly we say once we have designed a particular supply chain, and if it remain workable, means workable in the sense able to supply the product from the required destination to the required destination, from required destination to required destination, or from one destination to another destination as per the requirement of the company, means at the with you say performing a required performance, then we say it is sustainable. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Means say
Thank you, sir.
the cost we have to consider related to the cost. Okay.
Okay,
there is
sir.
no disturbance.
Thank you, sir.
There is no disturbance you say in supplying process. Okay. Any
Okay,
more
sir.
questions?
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
Sir, I have a
Sir, what
question.
about forest supply chain management, sir?
What is
What about forest supply chain management?
forest?
Yeah, towards a
Okay.
forest product.
Forest supply chain management is the supply process from the forest items from the distant places to the required you say location. And because you say in the forest from the different locations where the odd conditions of you say transporting are very odd, the roads are not available, or so from, and the loading unloading problems may be there. So from a forest where big logs of the woods or big logs of the other items are there, from there or you say the different items are available there. So from that location, you have to carry to the distribution center. So how to carry to the distribution center? So maybe one is the transport mode, another is the loading unloading part. And when you are in doing this process, you can have the damage of the item, damage of the product. So once the item is damaged, or you say then it will not be workable, or it will be lost to the supplying process, or it will be lost to the company, or it will be lost to the customer maybe. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay, another.
Sir, I'm Karishma Chaudhary. I have a question. Sir, it is related to a technological intervention in supply chain management, like how new technologies, blockchain and AI can
Okay.
help in supply chain management.
Yes. Nowadays we are having IoT based, internet based, because nowadays that is the beauty of the technology nowadays, that with your mobile set, by placing, you can place the order and you will get the product at your doorstep. That is the advantage of the advanced technology. Means nowadays many of the companies are having the app. You have to download the app. For example, the app of the Amazon. If you have the app of the company, then you can place the order from your doorstep and from your mobile phone, anywhere you are sitting, and then you place the order, you pay the amount, and you will get the product. That is the concept of
Sir,
the new technology.
so one
Okay.
more related question to this only.
Yes.
Sir,
Yes.
like suppose is there any possibility like we can use these technological interventions to trace the source, like from where we are taking our raw material or supplies? For example, I was looking at documentary which was related to cocoa farms in Africa, and
Okay.
it was mostly coming from illegal farms. So how can we use technological interventions to improve those things?
You are talking about the illegal supply of the things. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Illegal supply of the things also, you say, controlled in many ways by the government. But we say, because the government, if the government people are also involved, then it becomes difficult. Even with that also, you can found that the illegal things are to be controlled in a better way, because of, you say, once it, where we say, because you are having any of the things on the internet, and internet inceptions may be there. So the, you say, once the information is in the process, in the system, so the how the information will be accessed by the different people, you say, of the sitting in the government, or the, you say, of the intelligence of the government, then definitely they can, you say, uh, they can immediately control the supply of process. And maybe the you say, the new technology is a very threat, you say, is a threat to the mafia, you say, mafias, or these people, that how to handle, how to you say, check with that, you say, the new technology. They are also having the new technology. So how they, maybe by jamming of the process, they can go from one place to another place. Okay. But definitely it can be controlled.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Okay. Any more question?
Okay, sir. I think there are no more questions. So,
Okay, thank you. I am thankful to
first
all
of
of
all,
you for patient hearing.
on behalf of Department of Mechanical Engineering, Christian College of Engineering and Technology, Bhilai, I, Dr. R.H. Gajgat, would like to express my gratitude towards Dr. Dinesh Kumar, sir, for accepting our invitation to conduct a session. I am very much thankful to you, sir, for sparing your valuable time and sharing your knowledge and experience with us. You have well explained the different aspects of supply chain management Your session was too informative and knowledgeable, sir. Definitely, it will be beneficial for all of us. Also, I would like to thanks all the participants for joining and listening the whole session with a lot of patience. Thank
I
you all
think
again. Thank you,
time
sir.
over 1.5 hours is too short for completing
Yeah,
the
yeah, sir. It is difficult to cover all the things in a
all
one
the
and a
things.
half hour.
Yeah.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
thankful to all of you that you have given me this opportunity. I'm thankful to the institute also that they have given me this opportunity to to interact with you people and to interact with the lot of participants. Thanks a lot.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay, okay. Should I
Thank you, sir.
quit?
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.